Mic check, salute. We are back. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. If you will, please share the video. As you all know, we are being censored on the channel. Please share the video so that we can get the video out to some viewers to come in and join the stream. At this time, I do want to give a shout out. Shout out to Lolly Gotti for supporting the stream. My uncle, Columbus, Ohio. Salute. Appreciate for Lolly Gotti for supporting the stream. Shout out to Sister Katrina. Shout out to Sister Katrina for all your continued support. Shout out to my brother Marty for all your continued support. Okay, salute. Y'all keep the channel going. Salute. Now, as we all know, we are in the midst of a government shutdown. We're in the midst of a government shutdown that has striking fear into the citizens of America during this government shutdown. There's a lot in play. There are a lot of distractions that are also being brought to the table during a government shutdown. I mean, there's talks of racial wars. We got deep fake AI videos. I'm going to give you guys my take on what I think is going on at this particular time. Now, it has been said that there's a situation between the Democrats and the Republicans. Okay. And this whole thing is supposed to be about them not wanting to. And shout out to D. Allen Warren, my brother Big Dog Philly OG. Salute. Salutes to everybody in the building. I will be dropping the link because I do want to hear from others in the community. What's you guys' takes on the situation at hand? So I will be dropping the link. But first, I would like to get into what I think about this government shutdown. The government shutdown, it seems a little bit strange to me because they're still taxing things. You know what I'm saying? They still taking taxes. You know, life is still moving progressively, should I say. As far as the construct of the country, you know, everyone's still working. Bills are still being paid. This whole thing with these food stamps, I think this is a direct blow to the people. And I want to play a video. I want to play some audio because we have so-called Black people across America. And I want to say this, and I want to be clear with what I'm saying. I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. I want you to understand what I'm saying because we have so-called Black people who are threatening to steal groceries at this time. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to YouTube, the news, and things of that nature, I know a lot of people don't watch the news, but you got to know what's going on in the world. Okay, if you see them deploying troops all across this country, if you see them having 400 plus police officers for an NBA YoungBoy concert, what make you think when them food stamps don't hit on the first of the month, wake up. When you wake up on the first of the month and the food stamps don't hit, what make you think it ain't gonna be law enforcement waiting on you to run out of Walmart with some fucking food? Come on, man. Don't be crazy all your damn life now. It's cool to be crazy sometimes. We all have an episode here or there. I know I do. But don't be crazy all your damn life. They locking up everybody. They done locked up the motherfucking NBA players for making side bets and shit in the basketball game. They locking up NBA players for acting like they blowing their knees out and shit. We knew that shit was fake in the first place, man. We knew that shit was ran by the mob, man. And this is what we're talking about while we are in the midst of a government shutdown. We're mixing bad seed with good seed. Now, our people have become dependent upon the government. I'm not saying that's a good thing. What I'm saying is that's what's taking place. A lot of times we want to put our personal thoughts and feelings and our personal situations on shit when it don't got nothing to do with your personal thoughts or situations on shit. Because I'm gonna ask you a question, right? Now, if you got food, if you've been storing up and all this, and then the people have been getting comfortable with relying on the government, it's deeper than relying on the government because you're actually relying on the grocery stores. See, it's a hook, line, and sinker. It's deeper than what you think it is. So, what are we supposed to do now? Do you know how many? Do you know how many families are gonna be affected by not getting their food stamps next month when these food stamps are supposed to come out? No one is saving up food. So there's a lot of people who saving up food, but we talking about the majority of the people. We talking about the masses. We talking about not 10% of the people. What about the other 60 to 70% of the people? So we got to look at the comfort level that these individuals have been given when it's come to groceries, SNAP benefits, food stamps, right? Because I tell you right now, when those food stamps don't come when they're supposed to come, oh, it's going to drive a huge spike in crime. When those food stamps don't come out and it's a whole month that go by, it's going to drive a huge spike in crime. Now I'm looking at this from 2 to 3 angles. I'm looking at this from the angle of, okay, they want to try to teach us that, hey, we're going to stop these food stamps for a month. Then next month, when we give you these food stamps back now your ass need to be buying more carefully. Don't be buying all them little Debbie cakes. Don't go out and buy $75 worth of ice cream. Get you some beans and shit that you can put up. Maybe they're doing that, but then again, on the other hand, they're also provoking violence. Now, I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on why I started this conversation right now, because once you are incarcerated, right? You know, once you are incarcerated, you become property of the state. So once you become property of the state, you're not going to have even a little bit of rights that you have when you walking free. So when they want to implement digital ID, if the prison system is set up on a digital ID database server, then you will acquire digital ID. Yes. So there are a lot of um there are a lot of different angles that they're coming from this with. And man, make sure y'all support the stream. Salutes to everybody. I appreciate y'all. I see some people sharing the video. Please continue to share the video. My subscribers are not really getting the notifications now. So we got to go to extra measures to get the notifications out. I'm going to play this video and I'm going to drop the link. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. I sent that text that the link is definitely cut the hook off for November. Y'all better say out of my way in these trucks. I'm walking out with cars that I'm not paying for. Y'all that do want motherfuckers start looting. Oh, what's gonna happen? Before our kids go broken like jobs, I'm gonna be feeling like it ain't no tomorrow. What a way to beat the stereotype by getting on camera and claiming you're going to steal because you're not going to get food stamps because of the government shutdown.
Have you ever thought about, I don't know, maybe getting a job? Because I think that's a much better, easier solution for you to follow.
And now this guy, he one of these light-skinned niggas with a bunny. I'm sorry, he got a beard and a bunny. He half man, half woman. I don't know. This nigga's looking like some type of androgynous statue with these motherfucking headphones on the side of his ear right now. He look real ancient. I don't know, right? So everybody, let me give y'all some more game. Everybody can't get a job. There is not enough jobs for everybody. Okay? It's not enough jobs for everybody. Secondly, right? Everybody can't get a job because of different situations. So when we're speaking, we have to keep in mind that we're speaking for everyone at the same time. So we also got to include the little people. You know why? Because these people have been indoctrinated into and getting comfortable to live a certain type of way and have a certain type of expectations for their government. I'm gonna play this video one more time with this young lady, and I'm gonna keep going in on that. Salute to the brother OG. Got that text that the link is definitely cut the off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with cars that I'm not paying for. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start moving, oh, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke and like job, I'm gonna be feeling like it ain't no tomorrow.
What a way.
Now, that's just stupid. Why would you warn somebody who got bigger guns than you, who got more soldiers than you, who got some shit that you can't withstand, and you telling them how much food you finna go take on a public platform? We gotta stop doing this shit. We gotta graduate from the making it look good and making it sound good era of so-called black folks. We gotta start doing shit for show. FASHO, rather than doing shit for show. FORSHOW. We gotta start doing shit for real instead of doing shit for the real. What is going on a public platform, and pronouncing that you're going to go out and steal some motherfucking groceries going to do? One is making you fit the narrative of the motherfucking stereotype that has been placed upon you. So when somebody come at you and when somebody say, hey man, look at this ratchet ass black girl, you can't get mad because you should just say, hey, yeah, I'm a ratchet bitch. Fuck you. Yeah, this is what I do. This how I do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go take these groceries. If you gonna do it, just do it. Stop alerting your enemy what you gonna do. Cause while you sitting there talking, they reaching and planning and making preparations to be able to defend your gesture, the gesture that you're giving out. That's one thing that we gotta stop doing. We gotta start moving in a way that's going to bring us something of substance. Excuse me. We got to start moving in a way that's going to make it count for us. Because if we don't move in a way that's going to make it count for us, as we can already see, they don't give a fuck about us. So we got to give a fuck about ourselves, and we got to start moving to where we're going to actually accomplish something with these tactics and situations and shit that we're bringing forth, that we're able to, so we're able to overcome, because we're sitting back waiting. And guess what they're doing? Making test runs. They're making test runs so that they can see how we react. Yeah, they're making test runs so that they can test to see how we're going to react in certain situations. This is what gives them the know-it-all to how to move the next time around. This would simply be a simulation. This would be a simulated agenda. If they're going to shut the food stamps down, they're also performing a winter solstice ritual. You niggas don't want to participate in Halloween, so we're going to give you something to be scared about. We're going to take your Thanksgiving away from you. See, we want to get on these public platforms, and we're dealing with a president who operates in a childlike behavior. So if you throw shit on a child, the child not gonna go clean himself and find a way to keep you from throwing shit on him again. When you throw shit on a child, what he gonna do? He gonna make that plain AI video like Donald Trump in his mind, and then he gonna drop a lot of boo-boo on you because it's a child. Trump running this motherfucker like Dollar Bill was running the motherfucking Players Club on the movie. So we gotta understand, we gotta not put ourselves in a situation not to be lined up, because remember, people, their agenda is what? Pushing forth this digital ID. So they're throwing all type of distractions and things out. They're throwing out distractions, letting the people think that this is about immigrants. This is about the Democratic Party. They want to give the immigrants the money. They want to make Donald Trump seem so cool. Listen, they already knew Donald Trump was going to be the president and the last president. Because I'm going to tell you what, so-called black people, another thing y'all did when y'all fucked up, when they made y'all think that they cared about you enough to clean up crime in your community. So you gave the okay for the military to put foot on U.S. soil. At one point in time, we was all smart enough to know that when the military put their feet on U.S. soil, that means martial law. All downhill with the Constitution after that. See, in our sweet little innocent children, childlike minds, this is why they call you a minor or a minority when it's more you. Why they calling you the minority? Because they treat you like the child in the situation. So when they treat you like the child in the situation, they know you don't know nothing. They spelling out words to each other in front of you. That's what you do to a child. And those who have an ear to hear and an eye to see are smart enough to say, nah, I'm listening to, I know how to spell. This what they saying, but the children still don't comprehend. So this is why a lot of this shit is going over our head. Shout out to my brother, the enemy's public, my brother T. Riggles, D. Allen Warren, Sharon Walker. Salute. Salute to y'all. Much love and respect. This is what's actually taking place in this situation right here. And shout out to my brother Big Dog Philly OG on the panel. I don't know if you wanted to interject, but if so, feel free to do so. Your brother OG, salute. Because I'm gonna bring this up for the people. Salute, salute, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel, support the stream. Salute. Okay, I'm just copying this Earl. I'm gonna bring this up. Appreciate y'all for y'all patience. And let's get into it. All right, we're gonna stop the screen share and we're gonna bring up this post. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel, family. Okay. Senate fails to advance GOP bill to pay essential federal workers during shutdown. All right. Now, they said what to know about day 23 of the government shutdown. The Senate failed to advance a GOP-backed measure that would pay federal employees, military members, and contractors who have continued to work during the government shutdown, now on day 24. The bill, known as the Shutdown Fairness Act and introduced by GOP Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, needed Democratic support to reach the 60 votes required to advance. It fell short with a totality of 54 to 45, with 3 Democrats crossing the aisle. Now, see, I'm going to continue reading, but I want to stop there and I want to say that, see, this is the situation that the Democrats and the Republicans, see, the Republicans using this to argue about. The Republicans are saying that, man, y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all ain't hip to what's going on. See, what it is, it's the Democrats who trying to get the money for the immigrants, right? And all this may be true. All this, that might be true. But see, I don't even want to get that far with it, because at the end of the day, that's only a small distraction. That is only a small distraction, right? Because at the end, they got one big play. At the end, what's the big play at the end, Key? The big play at the end is they know a lot of people gonna act a fool. They know a lot of people are die hard about their a lot of people die hard about their traditions. To stop a person's Thanksgiving, and the ironic as this sound, is like totally disrespect. That's black folks' favorite shit. Man, I can't eat no turkey. Fuck that, nigga. We about to slide on these niggas. We sliding on Walmart. You know, the government shutdown is affecting other people in a different way. And I'm just saying the things I'm saying just to shine some light on the situation. You know, I got a call from a pimp player partner the other day, and he voted for Trump. He been behind Trump the whole fucking time. First term, second term. He 10 years in with Trump, right? He say, man, fuck Trump. I said, man, what you talking about? What's going on, brother? He said, man, the game finna be fucked up. I said, what you mean about the game about to be fucked up, man? He said, man, if them food stamps don't come out, he said, man, you know these niggas start valuing booty so much, the price of the P done went down to 40. If them food stamps don't come down, the price of the P gonna go down to $20. Man, it take $20 to get a hoe ready to hit the blade for the day, man. See, it's a lot of shit going on, and we looking at this shit from immature ass levels. Is that what make the government shut down effective? Or is the government shutdown being effective towards you because you don't have proper spending habits? Because you don't have no more meat in the refrigerator. All you got is a bunch of Debbie cakes and shit. And I'm not blaming or pointing the finger, or I just want to know. Because the most important thing to me is the mindset of the people. The physical outcome is the most important, but the only way we're going to shift the physical outcome is if we set a solid foundation for what the mindset of the people is. So that's important to me, right? Okay, now, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania and John Ossoff and Raphael Warmack of Georgia. Those were the 3 Democrats crossing the aisle. Now, Republicans said the legislation will bring needed relief to those federal workers who have remained on the job and are due to miss paychecks. So wait a minute. So we gonna shut the government down. I'm gonna read this again. I'm gonna read this one more time. So Republicans said that the legislation will bring needed relief to those federal workers who have remained on the job and are due to miss paychecks. Democrats argued that the bill would give the president broad authority to determine who gets paid and who doesn't. They offered their own pair of bills that would have paid federal workers, but Republicans objected and they did not receive votes. The Senate adjourned until Monday without taking a 13th vote on the House passed funding bill, almost certainly stretching the shutdown into next week. Now, the Senate adjourns until 3 p.m. on Monday, and this is on October 23rd, 2025. The Senate adjourned for the weekend at 4:43 p.m. The chamber will not meet Friday and will instead reconvene at 3 p.m. on Monday on what will be day 27 of the shutdown, bearing unforeseen developments. Johnson says he'll keep pushing the bill to pay federal workers during shutdowns. Well, on one hand, they're telling you that they're using the shutdown to pay federal workers. Well, why can't y'all just work harder? The government really been halfway shut down this whole time anyway. I've been to the IRS building. I'm personally going through situations with finances that I'm trying to receive back from the IRS. And I personally went in there and only saw 2 or 3 people working. Empty desk in there. Maybe you should change the job criteria. So it's a whole lot going on. But on the other hand, what they're telling us is we don't want to give these migrants, these immigrants, we don't want to give these immigrants health care. We don't want to give these immigrants food stamps or health care. So that means do we shut shit down for everybody else when you've been giving it to them the whole time? I mean, somebody help me make up my mind so I can figure out what the fuck's really going on. It seemed like a whole bunch of excuses. They shooting 3 basketballs at one time. Whichever one go in, boom, that's what they okay with. Because when them food stamps don't come out, people gonna take this to a whole nother level. Not being able to celebrate Thanksgiving, that's gonna be crazy. But see, I already processed in my mind a long time ago. I done lost relationships with my family over this motherfucking holiday shit, over this holiday shit. See, I'm already ready for what's going on now. I was before my time. They making a separation right now to see who's the good old boys, who's the good old girls. Everybody preaching that you need to get yourself together, old ass rhetoric. I need you to get the fuck on away from me. Cause you a black person. I'm a nigga. We not the same. Ain't shit black about me. My skin ain't black. Nothing. But we're adopting this black boule mentality. These are the so-called black Americans who agreed to be African or motherfucking American, who are representing the black people, the so-called black people in this country. So with them giving the okay to everything that's gonna push the system through, to push the system forward, we get hit with the bullshit by default. Cause you got a nigga like Al Sharpton representing you. And they just came out and told you he been a fucking snitch this whole time. He ain't gave a fuck about no nigga. Allegedly, he gave up all the drug dealers in exchange for all the damn cocaine. How the fuck you think that nigga got so skinny so fast? Quit playing with me. See? These people are selling the community out. They're merging with the government, not caring that the house is burning. They don't care. They don't care that they're helping push the agenda for digital ID. They don't care. They don't care that they're helping these motherfucking JEW people who are in charge reverse everything and make what's supposed to be bad good and make what's really good look bad. They don't care about that. That's why you call these motherfuckers the synagogue of Satan. They're here to turn yourself around. If you don't turn yourself around, you can't get out with them. See, this goes back to being compatible with nature. If we were compatible with nature, we wouldn't even be fucked up about them food stamps in the first place. It's always good to get a little extra something, but we would have our stability. It wouldn't be a sudden panic to where people start to feel like they gonna starve or go hungry if they didn't get the food stamps. We would have some sort of ground to stand on to hold us up. But now we got to deal with, right? Now we got to deal with who you think these starving so-called black people gonna rob when the stores shut them down. When they can't go to the store and loot like they thought they was. Because if it was 400 police officers at the NBA YoungBoy concert, I bet it's gonna be at least 100 at Walmart. You can hang that shit up. Let's talk realistically. Let's talk realistically. Especially when you're giving out your plans on a public platform. Everybody don't need to be talking. You got people who out here trying to really do real research and really genuinely concerned about the people who are trying to give out warnings, but you got to talk on the same platform with a nigga who couldn't even talk in school. That's where we at. Fake shit real now. They got a lot of AI videos out. Like, oh, look what they doing to this little black little baby. Oh, look what's happening to this little white little girl. See, they're turning the fire up. So by them turning the fire up, that's gonna make it all the more, that's gonna make it all the more easier to cook their food they trying to cook. They cooking. They cooking. Okay. This government shutdown is supposedly only for a month. So what I can really say to the people and to the community is, hey, we got to try to get by as best as we can now. We got to cut back on a lot of things. We got to cut back on a lot of things that we used to. We ain't balling out right now. We ain't got stamps to blow right now. And shout out to my brother, Big Dog Philly OG. Was you ready to interject, good brother?
Now keep doing your thing. I'm about to go outside in a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah,
Peace
just
and
stop
power to
me.
everybody. Much love to everybody.
Salutes, peace and power to you, OG. I appreciate you, bro. Just stop me when you're ready to take the floor. I did put the link out for several other people to join, but I know a lot of people ain't gonna join this conversation. A lot of people don't want to have this conversation. It ain't enough bullshit in it. We got to start looking at shit realistically. We got to start looking at shit from a standpoint of we want to win. We don't just want to express ourselves. Ever since that damn song came out, express yourself. That's all the fuck we've been doing. Where's the glory in it? What we supposed to get out of that? Don't nobody want to do no type of hard work or nothing. And we talk about accountability. What's accountability? Going to work and helping these motherfuckers push an agenda that's gonna end up firing your ass anyway. What's the end game? These are the type of things that we need to be paying attention to. Okay? Now these troops, right? These troops, see, I'm gonna tell y'all something about these troops. See, these troops ain't your normal military soldiers. You know these troops is? That's these young kids that you don't even know where they work at. I'm finna give y'all some game. You don't even know where they work at, right? They got a nice little car, maybe like a little Dodge Charger. They might work at Walmart a little bit, but see what you ain't knowing, they in the National Guard. They only go to that shit on the weekends. Yeah. We in the last war we've been fighting that we was really physically fighting. Come on now with this shit. So these people are in the National Guards on the weekends. If you look at all the footage, they showing up, they got their mask on. They going to work, they getting busy. See, the Memphis thing went smooth because shit, Memphis already known as one of them places. This shit gonna get serious in Memphis. See? So they approach with caution. Those other places, they going through, they running through them. They doing what they want to do. They gonna be cautious in Chicago. They gonna be cautious in LA. You gotta know your enemy just as well as you know yourself. See, we have some people that get up here and say, man, forget what they doing. I can't worry about what they doing. We gotta just worry about what we doing. You will never win with a mentality like that. Bro, I'm a boxer. Ain't no way I'm finna just punch this bag and spar all day and just get in the ring. I don't know if the person I'm fighting is left-handed, if they come from the hip, if they come from the shoulder, if they're a jabber, counter puncher, a power puncher, speed puncher. I gotta know all this shit. How they footwork is. Is he really left hand, but he look like he right-handed with his stance? You got to know all this shit. This is the type of mindset that we got to have, especially when we already can come to the conclusion that we're dealing with our enemy. And salutes to my brother T. Riggle. Salute, bro.
Salutes. Keynote for great topic today. Give me 1 moment. All right.
Oh yeah, take your time, good brother. The purpose of this stream is to really bring some awareness of how we can move, maneuver, and operate. You know, there's some people with some food. It might not be the type of food that you want, but this is a time to really start eating healthier, you know, start getting some things with your last little bit of money that's gonna last. Uh, Maybe you can help some people in need. Don't take your stuff to the Salvation Army. Don't take your stuff to these organizations who asking for it. Actually find some people who in need and give it to them. We start doing things like that because it's gonna come down to that. And this is just a test run. Because when it comes down to people already are so fucking smart and intelligent. Everybody here for a reason. Everyone here and who are seeking knowledge on YouTube and checking out the conspiracies and doing their research and stuff. Everyone who's doing that, who carry that type of spirit, is so advanced that they already know what's going on. And what the government wants to know is if they're gonna be able to pull off this last lick. Let's link them in with this digital ID shit. This way, we can keep tabs on everybody. They already been keeping tabs on everybody, but it's random. They've been keeping a random tag already because they've been doing shit like listening to you on your cell phone, watching you through your TV. But with the digital ID, they can sync your videos and your audio straight to your ID. See what I'm saying? Rather than having to physically look you up and say, okay, who we been looking at for these past couple of days? You see them in there doing them drugs, and you see them in there with this and that in there. Who is this? They got to physically look you up. But when they do the digital ID, now they can automatically sync you to your voice, sync you to your facial recognitions. When that motherfucker reads the corner of your eye, the corner of your eye is just like a fingerprint. You know, your fingerprint in the middle of your fingers is just like your eye, your eyeball. You know that, right? They read the retina on a scanning system. This is how they identify people with facial recognition. Yeah, it get the dimensions of your face, but see, your face can always change. Your eyes don't. And salute, brother. You can stop me when you get ready because I'm just chopping it up now, just waiting for y'all to get y'all mic together and shit, man, so I can share the stream out to a couple of more people because I am gonna stop within the next 2 hours so we can get ready to go to Bro Sanchez. So salute.
And then Key, I love it when you be cooking, man. You give us the situations at hand, what's at play. You give us another way to look at things. I love the way how your mind thinks. And with the government shutdown thing with me, right? Honestly, I'm gonna say, who cares? Does the government shutdown stop you from working? Does the government shutdown stop you from eating? Well, it might stop some of us. I remember the days where I didn't have $1 in my pocket. Guess what I had to do, Key? I took a walk and hungry as hell. I was even asking God, I'm hungry. God, man, I sure do need something to eat. And then all of a sudden, an orange tree. Guess what I'm having for dinner? Oranges and oranges. So when it comes down to this government shutdown, to me, it's giving me a feeling, because I really don't know. It's giving me a feeling of, is this like a test run? Like, we're gonna shut down the government and let's see how the people are going to act. How are they going to move? How are they going to feel? And this is for like data purposes for them. You know, if it is somewhat of a test run, let's shut it down for 2 months, and let's make sure none of the EBT cards work and all of that. You know, and this is a very funny time for people that depend on the government and all of that. You know, this is a good time now to, do you really need preservative foods from the store? Do you really need to have, you know, to eat Jack in the Box tonight? Or Carl's Jr. that accepts EBT cards? This is a good opportunity for people that, you know, you're relying on certain things from the government, you know, to detach. You know, maybe let's see, salads might be in order now. Right? It's gonna be a good time to make a decision for everyone. You know, it's time to maybe clean up the system now. You know, like for example, tonight, for dinner, it might be, let's see, apples and oranges and grapes. You know, if you can pick them somewhere and find them somewhere. I mean, look, fellas, this is what I had to do. You know, and it was kind of a good situation for me. You know, during the times of having no income at one point. You know, it kind of, you know, put me in a frame of mind that, okay, how can I do this without going to the supermarket and doing all of these things? So I figured out a little system for myself. And the last thing, Key, right, is that this test run that I'm speaking about, now they're going to gather data from this, and they're going to see, are you going to act like an animal out here? Will you be the people? Will the people now start robbing, stealing, looting, doing the whole nine? Because if the people do that, best believe they got an answer for that. Oh, best believe they got an answer for that if people want to act very animalistic. But during this whole government shutdown, if we remain civil, we remain calm and no one trip out or, you know, stress out, you know, rely on one of your neighbors to maybe supply you with something, you know. If we can remain civil, this will now expose and force whatever the controllers that they have in power, whoever's in power, it kind of will force their hand into the open and kind of reveal what's really behind the veil. And I land.
I'm with you on that, man. I feel like we shouldn't allow them to see their see, and I'm glad I use boxing, right? Because I understand the concept of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
They're making us throw a punch. So in boxing, you always want your opponent to throw an unbalanced or untimed punch. Once they throw an unbalanced or untimed punch, you can counter punch. And now you're hitting them while they're unbalanced. See what I'm saying? And by them just striking up the government shutdown, oh yeah, we're not gonna give food. By the way, we ain't gonna give y'all food stamps. When they tell you that? 2 weeks until October. after you already spent your food stamps already. And I keep saying this about this food stamps because you guys would be surprised how many people have food stamps. And we got to pay attention to these YouTube videos. A lot of times they're telling us things that we don't even know what they're telling us. A guy just got on there yesterday and making a joke. Well, he wasn't making a joke, but it really was a joke. The guy that said Chris Brown owed him $25,000.
Mm.
I'm on EBT. Do you know how many rich people on EBT? It's so many different people on EBT. So that brings me to my next question. Now, I was getting the feedback from people saying that, hey, man, you don't really know what's going on. They trying to reset things. They don't want to give the foreigners EBT, and they don't want to give the foreigners Medicaid. But as we can see, they were saying that the government shutdown was going to be so they can catch up. What are your feelings on that? Do you think that there's some truth to the foreigner thing with the Democrat or Republican, or are you taking it for face value what they saying is for?
Well, I can. That's a good question. I never thought of that. To get the immigrants or foreigners, whatever you want to call them, off of EBT. Never really thought of that. But if that's the case, then why affect the brothers? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I mean? That's, to me, it's I don't know. This is, like I said, man, this feels like an operation, man. Like, it really does. Maybe to catch up on things, whatever they've got going. But I don't know. That's a very good question. I never thought of it in that manner, Keith.
Hey, peace to my brother Key. Peace to my brother T Wriggles. And much love and respect to everybody in the chat. Flat motherfucking power. Excellent topic, my brother. I'm at the pool all getting my practice in. But I've been listening the whole time. And that is a good question. When I went live the other day, Hiker brought up three things that the Democrats and the Republicans basically are disagreeing with, and it's all money going to a foreign country. Is basically why uh, the shutdown. You can Google it. But yeah, this shit wild, man. Like, we've been talking about it, we've been seeing it coming for a while. I've been preparing myself mentally and physically, for this. You know, and it's just sad, man. How the Republicans and the Democrats ain't doing shit for the taxpayers, but we keep paying taxes, and they keep giving our money to either foreign countries or foreign immigrants or migrants or immigrants, however you want to put it. All the funds are going to them and not to the taxpayers. It's mind blowing to me. Like I said, we've been talking about this shit for years, man. For years, they did it, what, 2 years ago for about 2 weeks. And part of it is because certain parties want to give money to these foreign entities and continue giving money to these foreign corporations. And my question to y'all, real quick, is staying on topic. I've been calling friends and family all around the United States, Philadelphia, all the cities that they were protesting in allegedly. And I asked, my people, did y'all hear about any protesting going around in your city? And basically, I got no from everybody, man. So more than likely, they fabricating these goddamn protests to, stir Americans up, and you know, uh, and a lot of it is just propaganda, man, on the TV. But that's all I got for now, Keith. Appreciate you for letting me tap in, T. Wriggles. You already know my nigga, and everybody in the chat, man. Much love and respect. I'm gonna tap back in, but go ahead, you got it, Keith.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, OG, for your input. That was very you know, you know, so I gotta, those things I have looked those things up. All of those things are really taking place. But like I told my brother T Riggles earlier, if I already seen the end of the movie, I really don't be concerned with what's going on in the middle of the motherfucker. I got the spoiler alert. See what I'm saying? So me watching the middle of the movie only gonna make me just tune in to the distractions that's throwing me off. You know, you get in the movie, you be like, wait a minute, I thought this person died. Well, I thought this, but if you seen the end of the movie already, you already know what's gonna happen. So that's where I'm at with it. Now I do understand we got a lot of our people who are into the politics. We got a lot of our people who are concerned in a way that they actually think that there's something that we're going to be able to do to offset the things that are coming our way. Like once we get under this digital ID things, people are going to be criminalized. If you've been to prison before, you now become a threat all over again. It don't matter if you committing crimes now. If you saying shit online or whatever that don't go along with the government, now you become a digitalized threat. It makes it easier for them to zoom in on their target. And my bad, brother T Riggles, I didn't know if you wanted to interject. I didn't want to get too long with it, but go ahead, you got it.
Oh, no. This is your show, Key. Do you know what I mean? And you answered that very well. I mean, for me, OG, hey, I swear, I guess the the protest that happened out here where I'm at in LA, I didn't get wind of it. And then my neighbor, he's like 80 something years old, can't walk right. And he came outside and and he looked at me and he says, "So are you going to go to the protest?" I was like, what protest are you talking about? Yeah, it's against Trump and dot 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 dot. It was on the news. And I looked at him and I said, I was about to say something real smart back. Like why you say huh? The news. I don't watch TV anymore, buddy. So that's crazy that you even mentioned that, OG. Like I did not get any wind of it. No one told me about no protest. It didn't pop on my YouTube feed. And this is somewhat, I guess you could say, I'm pretty much detached from whatever narrative that they're pumping out to the people. And I land.
Exactly. And that's another thing that pushes me past the incidents. Because just like the protesting, I've said this and we've concluded this. This shit has been debunked because if all of the it's 7 million people all across the country, right? So that means that some of these protests, has it been more than seven? I don't think it's been more than seven. So if there's only been like 5 protests and it says 7 million people, that meant at least 1 million people was at one protest. Even if it's 100,000 extra people, 100,000 extra people in the city, man, don't you know that think about if you do y'all have a basketball team in your city or a football team? Do you see parking for sporting events and shit like that? So where are all these people parking? Where are they buying all this gas at? And you know, like you understand what I'm saying? Our stores seeing the influx in because all these people are coming, how they eating? So you mean to tell me the local McDonald's at these cities ain't doing 10 times 10 numbers the day that this shit is going on? Like, come on, man. These people don't eat. They don't need a car to travel in or a plane ticket or a bus ticket or something. How are they getting from point A to point B? What are they eating and where they staying at? Do the hotel is the hotel? I don't know. Somebody need to tell me. I could throw my last little $2 in the stock so I could try to get 20 out of it or something. You see what I'm saying?
I
So,
know exactly what you're
yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you're saying. If I knew there was a protest going on out here, right? Man, you know how many cases of water I would have bought and just when I walked around talking about selling water, I would have came up, man. I would have made some money. I would have had more than $20 in my pocket. Do you know what I mean? I could have came up off of this. But it was good that I didn't know, you know. And that is a good question. Like, did some of the hotels in my area did was y'all sold out? You know, like with all of these so-called people protesting for I and look, Key, and what blows my mind, I mean, this is 2025, okay? This ain't 1965. It ain't the 40s. This is 2025. And by now, if people think that protesting work, okay? Oh God. People actually think protesting works, they allow you to protest. How about doing that they don't allow? That would be more sufficient to me, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I do. It was not allowed is big black girls running in Walmart, filling their fucking grocery cart up and running the little old retarded. I can't say that. The old dude that's at the beginning of the store who asking for your ticket. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna let Sarika run this nigga over with her basket, man. It just is not gonna happen, man. You about to get your ass beat in a cart full of groceries. You can't push but one at a time. You know that ain't but $200 worth of shit, right? They finna split your wig for $200, man. Rethink this shit and rethink about it. You know what I'm saying? This situation should be educating people on their stance. See, we so caught up in circumstances about shit like relationships and shit. So you withstand these type of relationships with your government. You withstand an abusive relationship with your government, but you won't even withstand a not even abusive relationship in your household for the sake of your children. This is
Mm.
a psychological warfare that we're going through. They knew they had the people duped once they got the people to separate with each other. They separated households when they even came with this jab shit. They separated households when they came with this Democrat Republican shit. So they already know that the people are not together to go against them. It has turned from a civil war of the people against the oppressor to the people who think like this against the people who think like this. This is what this shit is all about.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because let's we're not gonna go too far in history, right? Let's just take the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, okay? Outside of the US, it's always been, you know, us versus them. It's always been us versus them, right? The people versus the people in power. They outside of the US, a lot of more people were unified. Even inside the states, it wasn't that bad as it is right now. Okay, with the division that's going on here, because they're masters at this. I mean, I haven't seen anyone do anything as well as these ones in control. The old school tactic, divide and conquer. They're pros at it. Uh, Making people move emotionally without thoughts. They're pros at it. Installing what is that? Predictive mind, like that to program your thoughts for a later on date to make you go haywire. Man, these dudes is genius. And just as now, we're going to see what the people are going to do. Are you going to be You're going to go into heavy survival, animal, it's all about me type of mode, or you're going to be you're going to withstand the storm and be easy and relax and enjoy some of the most important things in life, family, good friends, life, you breathing, so this is going to be an interesting time for us to witness in our land.
Oh yeah, and I agree with that because it's not a black or a white thing. It's really not even a Democrat or a Republican thing. It's really not even a rich or a poor thing. It's really all about, because none of those things really truly aren't real. They exist, but they're not, if you want to call it organic, if you will, right? They're not natural. They exist, but they're not natural. Racist, black and white, rich and poor, Democrat, Republican. None of these things are natural. What it's coming down to is good people, bad people. Do you got a heart, or are you just an evil motherfucker? That's what it's coming down to. And so the people who do have good hearts, or the people who you would consider to have a soul, are being tricked into pushing the agendas of these heartless motherfuckers. And this is how they're winning the battle of Armageddon. All this goes back to this battle. See, people are waiting for a great and dreadful day for this. But as soon as there was a day, so boo, as soon as there was a day, you tired? All right, I'm live. I'll holler at you in a minute. So this day began when there, as soon as there was a day. See, these people got an agenda. They know they can trick us with the money. They got us to stop feeding ourselves and start relying on this governmental system. They got us to start relying on going to the grocery stores. If we could get you to start watering your grass and stop planting them apple seeds every time you get through eating an apple, throw that in the trash, man. We're gonna send somebody to pick that up. We're gonna give you food stamps. All you gotta do is get your food stamps, jump in your car, and drive over here and get your food. Or if you work, you got a good job, we're gonna give you a good job. We're gonna convince your ass that it's 24 hours in a day, so you can give us 8 to 12 hours of your day. And when you get somebody 12 hours, you get somebody your whole day. Then you come home and then you up at night trying to do the shit that you should have been doing in the day. It's all a mind game to get you to stay in a place of pig mentality. The pig mentality. This is what red, white, and blue is all about. See, we got off the teachers of sound, frequency, and vibration. When you know that the blue represents your mind and the red represents your root chakra, survival mode. See, they threw that white strip in there, and that white strip faded the mind. It made that blue mind baby blue. It made that red pink. So that's where we get the homosexual agenda out of it too. See, I'm looking at this from a spiritual note. It ain't about nothing that's physical with me when it comes to this shit. So I'm not degrading anyone. I'm just calling a spade for a spade. It is what it is. And we all have to think in terms of sound, frequency, and vibration, because we're sitting here conversing with each other, acknowledging that these people are witches and warlocks. Well, how do you think that they're able to manipulate the ether? How do you think they're able to manipulate the matrix? Because they are using sound, frequency, and vibration. And we're always looking for something physical. When you have to change shit in the spiritual to get the physical, how do you think manifestation works? These people are manifesting their destiny, but their path is dark. But when you shine your light on their path and start to follow their path, then we all end up to the destination that they trying to take us to. That makes sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So it's all a mind game, man. You know, and once we wake up from the deep sleep, see, we need to become aware. See, people wake up and they think that it's cool. We wake up and then we get distracted. Since we woke, now you letting somebody come talk to you and keep you distracted while somebody else is in another room stealing some shit. We need to wake up and be able to say, hey man, hold on for a second, man. Let me get up and get myself together. I need to wash my face, brush my teeth, eat some, go around, check the crib. Then I'm gonna come back to you. I can't keep letting you distract me. That's what's happening when we come down to these Democratic parties and all this shit. Even this food shit. Even this food stamp situation. Everybody should have like a small garden or something growing in their house or some jarred up stuff. Or we used to live like that at one point in time in America. My grandmother, my great grandmother, she had so many peaches. She used to buy peaches and she used to cut these peaches up, leave a little syrup in there, put it in a jar. You know, this stuff will last for a long time. People used to make chili and just freeze half the chili and then eat that. Then you have chili put up, you know, squash, all types of fruits, apples, all types of fruits, all type of vegetables put up in mason jars. People use mason jars for the wrong shit today. Mason jars got weed and crack and shit in it today. When food was supposed to be in them motherfucking mason jars, man, it's all about the mentality of the people. So we got to get our motherfucking mind right. Then we can get our grind right. Then we gonna shine bright. Then we ain't got to worry about it. That way they can't, uh, uh, they can't put fear on us about a government shutdown, about not getting food stamps. The way that brother acted on bro Sanchez, and shout out to bro and shit, the way the dude acted as soon as he was about to cry about those food stamps, and just the mentality of that, it's just crazy as hell. I mean, we gotta have other ways to survive, you know what I'm saying, without being relying on this government. Because we got too many people who pushing for the agenda of this government without a full understanding of where it's gonna take us to. We dealing with AI, we dealing with robot-minded motherfuckers. So you think they worried about food? Why the fuck you think all the food fake? We dealing with robot-minded motherfuckers. Nigga, they ain't even keeping the air clean for us to breathe in. The water's not clean to drink. So I'm in my physical self and my physical mind arguing with another person and really fighting for the agenda of some aliens. They the fucking aliens. My bad, bro. I don't want to be too low with it, man. Shit just rubbed me the wrong way, man. And it's just the mindset of the collective mindset of the people, And then shout out to all of the women in the community. I want to give all the women a huge shout out in the community because y'all not the women who on there making these dumbass videos and representing us in a bad light. Y'all doing y'all research, y'all supporting the channels and shit like this. So shout out to y'all, man. Much love and respect. You got it, bro.
Yes, and pardon my rudeness here, man. Shouts out to the chat. I agree with that. What you just said. Shouts out to the women, okay, and shouts out to the ones that are going to view this stream later on down the line. Shouts out to everyone. and like I said, this is like, to me, I'm gonna stay on this from a spiritual sense now. From a spiritual sense, you know, I would ask, like, you know, just talking to myself, like, so God, divine creator of all things, why are you letting this happen? What do you want us to know and learn from this event? Like, for an example, the pandemic, the divine creator probably said, go ahead with whatever y'all doing. This is going to force my peoples to sit down for a minute. Get to know thyself. You don't gotta work right now, and what was going on during that time period. A lot of domestic violence went up, and that was a shock to me. Like, damn, people can't just sit with themselves and their other spouse and mate and really be fruitful, you know what I mean? And love the time and appreciate the time that you were having, because most of the time you guys were at work. So now we come fast forward, so divine creator of all things, why are you making people go hungry? Right? And the divine creator is probably saying, no, I'm not making people go hungry at all, T. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. I'm letting this one go on by, fly by, because let's see if we can, have my peoples, get off this. I don't want to be too explicit here. When babies are born, they have to, go to their moms, right? To get the milk. So this might be the reason, right, that the divine creator let this fly by. Like, man, you got to get off of this. Everyone, you got to get off of this. Get away from them as much as you can and start your own. Let's all become sovereign here. You know what I mean? Where we rely on self, and I could rely on you because you are relying on self. So you have, so Mr. Peterson, sorry for being so long-winded, but Mr. Peterson down there, he got the lettuce. Mr. Wong, he got the rice. Hey, Juan Valdez, he got the carne asada, and we got whatever. I got the cornbread. And we've got to figure out a system here. You feel me? That works. So no one does go hungry. And whatever system that is, we're going to make sure that this system is cost effective. Most definitely. Like how much are eggs? Eggs are like $7-9. That's insane. That's insane. That a dozen of eggs is $7-9. Eggs should be no more than $3. Period. Should be a set price, $3. But we just got to come up with some type of system, that works for the people all day long in our land.
Man, that was a very great point that you brought up about the divine creator, and you just set my mind somewhere. So this is how I feel about this situation, right? So I don't think the divine creator really got nothing to do with what's going on inside the fishbowl. I look at it like the fishbowl effect. You know what I mean? Sometimes we want to anthropomorphize the divine creator, or what most people call God. So I feel like he's saying, well, man, I gave you everything you need to do everything that you need to do. I'm not going to be dealing with you niggas with what y'all got going on. You need to realize, and slavery has been a choice. I know a lot of people laughed at Kanye West when he said this shit, but slavery has been a choice. We've been led astray by the black boule system. But on the other hand, there's a lot of, it's a difference between JEWs and white people. It's a difference. All white people ain't the same, but we call white, just like all black people ain't the same. So when we're dealing with these good old white American people, as long as they don't allow the JEWs to mix their mind up and use them as their henchmen against us. And we don't allow them to make us think that they are the people who are really in control of us. And once we can realize that we both crabs in this bucket, we can start working together to fight this force. It's like some people say, man, I hope I get this job, man. It's like, man, hope your fucking, like Dick Gregory said, man, hope your fucking car start. Hope on some shit that man made. Don't hope on nothing divine that you can feed your family. You see what I'm saying?
Man,
So I
hell
think
yeah.
we kind of, because we're trapped in this patriarchal um capitalistic system that we're in, then we sometimes cross the divine creator into this existence plane, as if he's gonna make a decision on something at some point. Because I tell you right now, if he not making no decisions upon a baby getting molested, then he ain't gonna make no decisions about whether we gonna eat or not either. This is totally up to us. That's when the power of the divine is within you. We're fully capable of of obtaining this power to make these changes. But when the majority of us are have a mindset to go along with the people who are oppressing us, then by default it affects us.
Mm, mm.
So I think that's where our fight is, and I think that will be our divine.
Okay, I think you cut off.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, because if you divine these nuts, then these nuts will be divine, and then there can happen to be a divine spark that take place within this paradigm, within this atmosphere. Then divine shit gonna start to happen. But long as we operate on an animalistic state, ain't no divine shit gonna take place around here.
That's facts. That's facts. You know, and
And
yeah,
that's the,
we're
yeah.
yeah. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead. My bad. My bad.
No, go ahead, bro. You got it.
I mean, this is where this, I like to call this window of opportunity we have, to awaken this divine flame within each of us, to where, you know, to me, just hearing war in 2025, like with all the history, with all the medieval and everything prior, like with the Vatican, and then they're the masters of torture and da 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 da. Like, we not tired of war yet. I guess we're not tired of hearing mamas screaming, crying because their baby. We're not tired of that yet. And if you, I mean, you should be, because I am. I'm tired. Hey, listen, man, I'm tired of everyone leaving when they're not supposed to leave. You know, or by the hands of the controllers, or being in the animalistic survival mode where your mindset is, oh, I got to do for me. I got to do what I got to do. Like, no, just as you said before, you know, the divine gave us a mind, and we need to start using our mind, our spirit, and coming up with, you know, solutions, the best solutions possible to all of our problems that we have here. And I like,
Yeah, that's a fact. Because as long as we are pushing for, because we're choosing the lesser of the two evils, They saying, well, shit, man, I'm gonna either throw you out the window, or the one party saying, we gonna throw you out the window. Then the other party saying, well, we gonna kick you down the stairs. And you like, shit, if I go down the stairs, I might break my ankle. I'm gonna break my arm, but I ain't gonna die. So fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and choose this one. Well, really, there's an elevator there. If we can all just agree on taking the elevator, we won't be separated to either have to get kicked down the stairs or through out the window.
Great point.
It's a mind game. All is mental. All is mind. All is thought. This matrix system only exists because the foundation of the matrix system's construct is built first in our minds, and we're following the path. We're shining our light in the direction of the path that they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And that's a great analogy, and to bring awareness to the elevator, right? That's where we need to head. We don't need to break any more bones, and we don't need people being unalive, being thrown out the window. All we need to do is just walk over to the elevator and push the button all together, and we can all go up or down the elevator, whether it doesn't matter, right? But I think that's a perfect example, and we're going to need people with this mindset, and with the people with this mindset, as time goes on, more people take the elevator, then more people get in the elevator. This thing, it will send a ripple of energy out throughout the land and even in the cosmos, that, oh, the people have chose another way. Great. I think that the ancestors would really appreciate and love us for taking the elevator route. I land.
Yeah, it'd be a not only a psychological advancement, but it'll be a physical advancement. Like the Bible states that, we'll have to go back to the wilderness. And so I'm just gonna use this reference because um, a lot of people acquire to the biblical standpoints.
Mm.
The wilderness. So I'm gonna bring this up real quick, right? Okay, the Bible describes the wilderness as a place of both hardship and divine encounter, representing a spiritual classroom for testing, preparation, and transformation. It is a place of desolation and testing where individuals and groups, like the Israelites, is real light. Fuck the 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 ideology of Israelites. We the real Israelites. No, are you real light? Do you have a soul that will connect back to the divine creator? Because there are people who are on this earth who are not like you and me. They don't have an inner light that's going to connect back. They don't have a magnet inside of them that once this meat suit fall off, that's going to connect back to the divine. Okay. Uh, and Jesus or Yeshua or whatever you want to call him, okay, experience profound encounters with God, divine provision, and spiritual preparation for the next stage of their journey. Key themes include reliance on God, purification, and making a way for God's presence. Now, when it says a place of both hardship and divine encounter, it's going to be a place of hardship because we first have to break away from this system. So that's gonna be the hardship. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's not gonna be what you used to. Going back into the wilderness don't mean living outside in teepees, huts, and all this shit. It means something simply as going back to a food source of the wilderness, planting shit, gardening shit. You got to get your taste buds back, ready for this. You ain't gonna get your chili cheese fries and your Philly cheese steaks. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
to just season them potatoes up right. You're gonna have to get that squash right, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to just start going to the grocery store or learn finding somebody who makes sour cream or hot sauce. There's gonna be people, man. And a divine encounter. The divine encounter will be you walking back towards the divine way of living, going back to a natural state, being compatible with nature, being information with the information. First, we got to be information with our information because you can't want to be saved and hosting the oppressor at the same time. You hosting the oppressor, you allowing this person to come in your house, but they whooping your ass and you want them out at the same time. But when the police come, you ain't gonna put them out. You ain't gonna tell on them. You ain't gonna let them out. You don't want nothing bad to happen to them, but something bad keep happening to your ass. So a place of both hardship and divine encounter, represent a spiritual classroom for testing. This is a level up on a spiritual level. This is us rising from a animalistic behavior to a godlike behavior. People like to say God body and reference the body of being God, but God bodies embody the spirit of what a God is, a God-like nature. Ain't no physicality to God, period. And it represents preparation. So while we're going back to what's natural, it's going to prepare us to be able to sustain ourselves and build a foundation for ourselves to not be relying upon the government. And transformation. This is going to be the transformation point to where we can now not be, but we've already been there. I came from grandparents who already been there. I didn't grow up in a backyard that I couldn't go out in the backyard and it was greens, lettuce, tomatoes, squash, potatoes, beans. All this shit was in every backyard on both sides of my family.
Mm.
This is what we got to get back to. But we grew up in a lot of these children and a lot of people grew up in a society where they had some green ass grass in their front yard. We growing shit to feed the shit that we want to eat. A genetically modified ass cow. So you gonna put your time and your effort and your energy into growing the fucking cow that you gonna go spend your money that you also trade your energy and your time for and your you know what I'm saying? Well, they got us
Mm.
fucked up. Boy, they got us backwards. Man, they got us off spiral. This is what spiritual warfare is. Our sine wave ain't going in the right direction. You know when they hook you up to a motherfucking EKG machine in a hospital, that bitch be going beep, beep, beep. You see a little sine wave? That's a
Mm-hmm.
that's a spiral. If they were short in a circular motion, it would go in a spiral. That's the true nature of spiral of life. But then when we start to bow that ring and we start to get into things like politics and business and all this type of shit, then we bow that ring and now we ain't on no natural spiral of life. That's what spiritual warfare come from. That's what spirit is, the way your shit operate in a natural world. So when we start talking about spiritual shit, we gotta take money out the fucking equation. We gotta take politics out the fucking equation. That's why I hate to hear a nigga who thinks he's a fucking Christian and he's sitting up here talking about praying for his president and all this shit. Ain't no spiritual shit dealing with none of that. This is the opposing spirit. This is the oppressor. This is the motherfucking synagogue of Satan who trying to get you to follow him to the depths of hell.
Mm.
They want to manifest hell on earth. It's a lot of darkness operating and it's in control right now. at this point right now. You can't just say you an Israelite. You have to be real light. Once you're being real light, you will have a fucking garden and some food growing somewhere. So if somebody was hungry, you would say, hey, well, look, I can't change the world. I'm in this world. I ain't of this world. So guess what I'm gonna do? Let's stop arguing and complaining about this shit. And guess what? Look what I got. Cause I'm real light. I grow real shit, natural shit. I do what you say God do. Because I'm representing who God is on this earth. Come on, let's eat. See, we in heaven right now. Everybody else gonna be in hell because they ain't possessing real life. Let's do this. See how this works?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the hardship in testing, a place of difficulty. The wilderness is often depicted as a harsh and terrifying place with elements like thirst, dangerous animals, and internal conflicts. The thirst is gonna come from people who saying damn that they just want a Dr. Pepper today. Nigga, you ain't finna get no fucking Dr. Pepper, because guess what? The corporations make Dr. Pepper, buddy. If you don't want to be real light and learn how to filter that water out, then your ass gonna be thirsty. Dangerous animals. Look at all these genetically modified animals. All the animals we see in the animal kingdom ain't real animals. This shit wasn't here from the beginning of time. If so, then where's the buffalo? Internal conflicts. You're gonna have internal conflicts because you're gonna have people who want to go back to the old way. So they're gonna be slowing you down from making progress to go ahead and get to the way that's gonna be your transformation, the way that's gonna free you. A time of humbling. It can be a season of being humbled and tested, where people are stripped of worldly comforts to learn dependence on God. But then that depends on what the fuck you think God is. If you think God's some man who's sitting up saying, well, I like these motherfuckers, I really don't like these motherfuckers, and I'm gonna help this nigga, but yeah, you can fuck that baby up and I ain't gonna help him. If you think that's what God is, then you fuck from the door. Being natural and compatible with nature, that's a God-like mind. Spiritual and moral challenges. The wilderness is where people faith is tested, leading to complaints, but also to the discovery of their true character. It's gonna show who you truly is. Just like the food stamps is being withheld, and you got some people say, well, I'm finna take my shit, baby. I'm gonna get my food stamps. Give Caesar what's his. Them fucking Caesar's food stamps. Give Caesar back. You can't get mad at Caesar and take Caesar's food stamps when Caesar don't want to give your ass none. You sound crazy. You've been sitting up here voting for Caesar for the last 20 years, and now your ass is mad because you sitting up here talking about Caesar don't want to give you none of his food stamps no more. See what a mind frame of the people is with shit like this?
Yeah, I totally see it. You know, and you know, shouts out to my man, Greedy Vegan, who put out, I think he did it last year. He put out the 5-day challenge of fasting, right? And then he said, pick one fruit, you know, to eat throughout your. So you're gonna eat. You can have water, but you ain't gonna have no food, and you're just gonna, right? And I tell you this much, you know what you can do with an orange? Man, dog, look, you could just eat the regular orange. Look, you can make orange juice. You can cut the orange up and then put it in the salad to sweeten everything up, give you that citrusy taste. You can even go ahead and grind that thing up, and then all of a sudden you got a smoothie. You might even want to throw some green in there, you know, a little lettuce and cilantro or whatever. I mean, there's so many things you can do with orange, with just oranges alone. And especially with the oranges, right? Like, I would put them in my smoothie, and I make sure that I put some of the orange peel, right? Because that's where they say most of the vitamin C is in the peel. And so you throw the peel in the blender. Do you know what I mean? And that boom, I got an orange smoothie. I mean, the mind can be so creative when you're in when you have natural things around, because that what ends up happening, your mind starts to clear up, right? You're not eating so many preservatives. You don't have pesticides in your system. You know what I mean? All the chemicals start to flush out, and then your energy level with just being like just going back to nature's order of things, right? You would have you're not only will cure your animalistic ways, right? It will calm you down, and for the first time, right, you will be able to think clearly. That's why I love that, going back to nature, as you always say, because it is something that we all need to do. I think that's one of the ways we are going to unify, because all there is to me, Key, all there's me, there's you, and there's divine. That's all we need. We don't need anything else. I need you, you need me, and we need that divine presence, the other side, ancestry guidance and help. That's all we truly need, really to unify, to be one with the earth, to be one with each other, and to be one with all of our prior ancestors that aren't here. I think that will make them extremely proud of us if we did that. And I land.
Oh yeah, totally agree, good brother. And then, hey, Anwar Drain, you was just in the back. Anwar Drain, if you wanna hit the link again, I will allow you in. I was waiting for the brother T Wriggles to land his plane. But peep game, when you come up on the panel, I'm gonna have to get a mic check, because when we get to talking like this is when they want to start attacking the stream. When we get to talking like I'm already under attack. I've been under attack so much. It's so much that I haven't even been relaying to the people just yet. The people can already see how they not even getting my notifications and shit like that. You see, they took my monetization, right? So if you're gonna donate to me, you gotta do it through Cash App, because YouTube not allowing me to make money off YouTube no more. You know what I'm saying? So if you gonna come up, I saw you went away before I could let you on the panel, but I want to hear other people's perspectives. You know what I mean? And anyone who comes in this chat, that's what the platform is for, to give the people a voice. I'm gonna be the voice for the people, but I also want the people to respond to let me know if I'm being a proper voice for the people. So I want you to come back, but as soon as I let you on, you gotta do a mic check, or I'm gonna have a finger on the trigger so I can hurry up and blow your head off and get you up out of here. My bad, brother T. Willie.
No, man, and you mentioned the attacks, and we all going through whatever we're going through, but especially content creators like ourselves, who spark the minds of people, that we actually have you sitting there thinking of something, like, and the reaction you should get, like, oh, I've never thought of it that way. That puts us in a kind of a, that's a threat in the establishment minds, because we have the power to do the same thing they do. They have technology. We're just able to do with it with words and pictures and videos, you know. So, you know, the attacks upon all of us that, you know, are having these content, having these type of conversations about unifying, about ancestry, bloodlines, and who your ancestors are. You know, have you spoke to your ancestors? Have you seen some of the ancestors? Has the ancestors came and spoke to you through a lucid dream? Like these type of conversations get really highlighted. You know, the alarm goes off, you know, and then the attacks begin. So, you know, when we're on, and that's a good thing that you're mentioning this, Key, even though we won't address what we're going through, because, you know, we're men, we're not males, right? There's a difference between the two, right? So we're men, so we know that if this is on our table, then that means that we should be able to deal with whatever that comes, you know. And shouts out to you, Key and OG, for having the strength, the mental fortitude. You know, you guys have been through some stuff, just like I've been through some things, and just to be here speaking to the people, you know what I'm saying? Because I love y'all, love y'all. You know what I mean? Because, you know, without you, there's no me. And without me, there is no you. Right? Right? Because we need each other in this puzzle that we're solving and putting together, you know, and unifying, you know, especially with the like minds. When the like-minded unify and are spiritually inclined, you know, and want to have a solution to all of these problems here. This is why we're here. This is why everyone's tuning in. This is why I'm tuned in to Key. I'm tuned into OG, because they both have a piece of the solution. And I like.
Oh yeah, much love, brother. You know, and what we going through is, like I said before, this Armageddon. So when I break down Armageddon, and make sure y'all be on the lookout for etymology 101 with Key Norfolk, right? So arm meaning some that projects from. So we project from the divine. Divine don't project from us. We're not the divine. Divine ain't us. We project from the divine. That's what the arm is. And then uh meaning membership. A is a person, a thing, but it has a membership to being a person or a thing. And getting means greeting, farewell to something amazing. So the battle of Armageddon gonna be on both sides, to where there's a pulling away. See, this is when they start talking about the great falling away of the church and all this. So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. They trying to give y'all some shit, but they giving you an elementary version of what's taking place, because we all can see what's actually taking place. But because we're giving them our light to direct their path, and we may not do it on an individual level, but like I said, we got these gate guards in place. So our light by default is, and then we got a lot of people who think that their vote, well, man, I'm just trying to get my life together, man. You know, you might as well just be a sellout, though. You might as well do the shit 607 Unk doing. You might as well be a Charleston White. And I don't give a fuck about you niggas getting mad. I know you niggas, so I can use your ass as an example. Brother, I ain't talking down on you. I'm stating the obvious. These motherfuckers are sellouts. Motherfucking Tyler Perry, all these type of people, niggas who put dresses on and shit just for the bag. To these people ain't trying to conserve their true essence. These people are allowing their light to be tampered with for something physical, which is a bag of money. And like I was explaining earlier, they get you to chase the money, which is a promissory note, because the true currency is your energy. But the true currency of your energy transfers all the way to a physical form of gold. So that dollar is in the middle between your true energy and gold. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Your true energy, the true transformation of your energy is gold. That's why gold is a value. But the dollar is a promissory note that gets you halfway in between. So they get you to chase that. So they can get your energy from you. And then they give you the promissory note. And then they get the gold. And then the promissory notes you take and you give them the promissory notes for the gold. And then they put you in a situation to where you get broke. And then you got to sell your gold back to them for lesser value. And then they just keep taking it to hike the shit up, because the whole thing about this shit is the central banking system, which is also set up by these JEWs. There is a perpetual interest system on this shit. The country would never get out of debt. This is why we're in a burning house. This is what Martin Luther King realized. See, he didn't go into the thing like Al Sharpton saying, well, hey, I'm finna be an informant. I'm finna fuck the people over. He ain't know what he was getting into. He thought because we integrated and shit, this was the best shit to do. And he said, well, shit, I'm gonna be a clean nigga. I'm gonna learn how to talk right. I'm gonna learn how to dress right. I'm gonna be nonviolent. But then once he saw that shit wasn't working, Martin Luther King said, fuck that. Next time we march, nigga, we want our motherfucking check or we finna tear some shit up. As soon as he said that, pow, shot to the head.
Hmm.
This was going on. So this battle of Armageddon is the amazing farewell to the membership of what you call God or the devil's extension. Because we have people who are brought up in an animalistic behavior, but they're coming to grips with settling their mindset state to say, well, hey man, damn, even though I came up like this, man, this shit ain't right. But we got people who are you know, blindly pushing toward the agenda to turn a divine interpart into an animalistic interpart. They don't even know that they're doing this shit by default out of ignorance of what's going on. The people should perish due to a lack of knowledge, a lack of knowing or understanding what the fuck's going on. And then if they could get you to say, well, all you gotta do is just trust in the Lord. You don't gotta know what's going on. That's a way to trick your ass out of your whole life experience when this life experience is the present. So that make it the fucking gift. So you was born before this shit ain't the present. You gonna die after this ain't the present. The gift is right here and right now, and they tricking you out of the fucking gift.
Dick Gregory said this. That's an individual I really listened to. I sat back, thought about it, double checked his info just to make sure. My brother Gregory isn't blowing smoke up people behind, which he wasn't. And he said something. He said something on this nature. Said that worry, like worrying is a violation. What you worrying about? There's a power within you that the divine's already installed. There's a power within you to make you can invoke things. You just got to take the first step. And it's just as, in my mind, I'm always thinking liberation. In order to get unity, we're going to have to liberate ourselves. I shared the thoughts of Dr. King and thinking that we can integrate with a system that isn't designed for us. So we're gonna have to liberate ourselves here. And when I say liberate, this is where OG's words kick in. Hey man, non-participation. No, I'm not buying your goods from Walmart. No, I'm not buying your KFC chicken anymore. Your Papa. No. I'm going to put my money and I'm going to take my energy and then put them into the local farmer where, I'm going to invest in me and you. That's it. We don't need a middleman. We don't need a Jesus. We don't need a really technically government. Do you know what I mean? And we just need you and I to be on this same page here. If we can get on this same page, liberate, and give our people real education, give our people real science, not this education that they have given us, not this science that they have given us. We want real deal things going on here so all of us can thrive, because it's about this time. Because what's this? The fear that the citizens of America that are feeling due to the government shutting down, that in my mind, sorry for my language, but are you for real? Like, you're scared of that? Oh, well, we got a lot of work to do then if the majority of people are scared because of the government shutting down. No, I just doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is, Nyland.
Oh yeah, brother, very much agree with. And shout out to Helen Phillips. She says, "Thank you, Key Norfolk in chat, for wise, powerful knowledge with important information. Thank you for this channel, speaking to help with the mission to help the lost souls to find their way back home." Thank you, Helen Phillips. And I modded you up. I have seen you comment in the chat, and something let me know that I know exactly who you are. And also Jess M80. Salute. I think I modded both of y'all up. Salutes to y'all. My brother Kill Switch, Charlie, the enemy's public. I'm trying to wait for my brother, the enemy's public, to join the panel. I know he will here soon. My brother McCray 1000 salutes. My brother D. Allen Warren salutes. Sharon Walker salute. It's always good to see you, sister. Salute. We want to be able to um, bring forth the proper information in the proper way. So I'm not going to always give the information from my personal standpoint at all times. I'm going to try to give the information from a standpoint um, as a collective. Someone else may be better off than me. Someone else may be worse off than me. But when we on these platforms, we have to be able to pass the information in a fashion that will not at least uh, hurt the people. We got to pass the information off in a fashion that's going to be something prosperous, and that's going to be something proper for the people. So salutes to all of y'all in the chat. Much love and respect.
Yeah, much love to all of you guys. And Key, I've been reading about Thoth, right? The Atlantean, and this is the second time I'm reading the Emerald Tablets, seeing if there's anything new. And first off, I've never read about someone that cares so much about us before in my life. Like, I've never read a material that tells us that, look, there are things here, that are from, he says, darkness. And I give you an example of what some of these things are: darkness. Okay. So in California, right, a law was passed that any stranger, okay, any stranger can pick up a child from school. And see, when a law like that is passed, that's forcing, I don't like Gavin Newsom at all, and he signed off on this, lets me further know that whatever this darkness is, all we have to do is shine our light on these dark things that are running around here. And it's just easy. It's to shine your light. And how do we shine our light? What we doing now? Talking about it, pointing it out, showing everyone, look, this is the play. Look, guys, look. The shutdown, it's a run play. If this is football, it's a run play, guys. We all need to know it's a run play. It's not a play action. They're not faking the run. They're not dropping back to pass. It's a run play. So now we can all move in unison, to stop a run play. And this is what shining our light on certain things is going to happen, because we've got to get rid of some of this mindset that some of our people have, right? If we can rid the mindset, clear your mind. This is why I think this is a good thing. Shut it down. Shut it down. Now let's see what the majority of people are going to do. It doesn't, this whole thing, right? And it's sad to say like this, I'm not being selfish here, right? But this doesn't affect me, right? Even though I've got EBT, okay, right? This ain't gonna affect me. So what? Looks like I'll be walking around looking for more oranges on the tree. Period.
Facts. And then in California, y'all still got orange trees in yards. In a lot of places they don't have that. But what I want to ask both of y'all, I don't know if OG Philly with the answer, but I know you are. So do y'all think that any of these incidences that are taking places are in, even with the government being sent to clean up the crime, even with the food stamps being shut down, do y'all think that these are systems that they're actually going in and trying to correct things so that they can reset them and things are going to come back as if they were before? Or do you guys think that they're doing this for a transformation to a whole new way of living and a whole new way of life?
I think they're doing this. I think they're knocking out 3 to 4 birds out with this one movement here. They get to clean up the streets, right? And a lot of people, I've been seeing the TikTok videos, and a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters are saying, yeah, we need the National Guard because some of our folks is just wilding out. So they're knocking that out. The takeover, where you've been saying, Key, martial law coming. Yeah, this is the guard. Then now martial law gonna lock everyone down and da 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 da. I think that's happening. I really do think it's a flexing of power that involves the higher ups. Then like that's got nothing to do with me. And if they want to flex, you know, Trump wants to flex, everybody else wants to flex, go right ahead and flex. It's I mean, I know where I'm at. I know what empire I'm under. I know who the real king is here. I don't need a Trump king video to know who the king of America is. And this is something where Americans, right, that this has to, you know, with the history of things, right? You have to know who the king of America is, because you do speak English now. You don't speak American. I know who the king is. You feel me? And the other one, you know, the other stone for this bird, you know, is this beef that these secret orders are having. Because let's keep it real, we've been infiltrated on all levels here. Okay. Well, when I say infiltrated, that means on the people level, you've got people on our level, you got people defending this system here and will throw you into jail if you're not doing what the system tells you to do. And then you got the higher ups, you got these secret orders beefing. You know what I mean? If they're not beefing, if they're not beefing, they're making it look like they're beefing to accomplish this goal that you've been saying for the last month, Key, you know, of really doing a number on people, especially with the digital ID, you know, and then after that, what comes next is the chip, and then it's over. You know, once you get the chip, it's over. It's really over now, right? So I think that's just what's going on. You know,
Oh yeah, facts, man. Because think about it. If I can get, you know, somebody's brother to take them out before I actually have to even do anything, then you know I'm gonna work smarter and not harder, and that's what these people are doing. They're taking what they're doing, and shout out to my sister Katrina. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you, sister. Salute,
salute.
salute to all the sisters in the chat, in the whole chat room, because the chat room is the energy. Even though we be on the panel and we be giving, you know, our insight and you know, researching information and trying to bring this information, you know, justifiably the best way that we can possible. Excuse me. It's hard for the stream to go the way it does. It does. Excuse me.
Mm, mm.
I got kind of choked up there, man. But it's hard. You know, the chat is that energy. So the way the chat operating is a very um important counterpart to the way the stream goes. So shout out to everybody within the stream. But
Yeah.
um, you know, and then could you say that last part that you said again, my brother? I'm sorry.
I totally forgot the last part because I was going to build off of what you were saying, you know, when you said shouts out to Katrina, right?
Okay,
Because
go ahead.
you know, I want to let all the women that are listening know something. You are one of the most powerful beings here. Okay? Let's not let's not get this twisted. I'm very, very aware of that. If you want a bridge built, a man is going to come help you build this bridge. This is the power of women here. Notice that during the election time, what was it? Georgia was able to go from red to blue, right? And this was just women doing that. So imagine now, you know, women having being balanced now. You know, I mean, I'm speaking about the women that are balanced, right? That can think logically and control emotions, just as we have to control emotions, think logically. Like you guys are the most powerful beings here, and a lot can't be done without you. right? You know how they say that there's some places that us men can't go, but a woman can and achieve that. Oh, you're damn right. You know, and vice versa. So, you know, because I know you want to do a stream later on, you know, when it comes down to relationships, you know, and I just want the women to know that, you know, I'm down with you 100%, right? I'm down with you as you will be down with me. And I land.
Oh yeah, and shout out to my brother JJ. Salute, man. You know, another see the government knows that. So the government knows how powerful our women are, but it's not just about how powerful our women are. It's about how powerful and how important our women are to us. So this is a way to this is one of the laws of power. How you can use two people against each other to manipulate each other.
Mm,
So if I can make one seem that they've been deprived of the power, and if I can give them the power that they feel like they've been deprived of, and then I can put these two people against each other, then I can divide a house. Now I can control this house and conquer this house. You understand what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So that's actually what's taking place with us. Even when it comes to this political view, a lot of our political views are woman against man driven, and as we know, a lot of these political views are so-called black people based views, right? They're driving this shit towards us. So they're using our women. So when we have women who are able to be virtuous, there's nothing more attractive. There's nothing more powerful than a virtuous woman. They
mm,
put this strong woman shit on our women's mind, and you don't even gotta be no strong woman to have power. All
mm,
you gotta do is be virtuous. Shit, I know for me, I know the softer you are, and the more yourself who you are, and the more genuine you are, the more power I'm gonna give you, the more I'm gonna lift you up, the more I'm gonna do everything for you. You know, we got these red pill ass niggas in these communities, these passport bros and all these bullshit ass dudes and shit. I got to call y'all out too. Y'all are helping the powers that be separate the people. This uh Mars versus Venus war. This man versus woman war that really don't exist. It's a part of the matrix system. So this is a huge part of why we are where we're at in the political structure as well. Because if you want to hear some real statistics, see, they be pulling statistics out their ass all day, but the Democratic Party was able to cipher the majority of our women's energy, and the Republican Party was able to majority of our men's energy. Am I lying, bro?
oh, you ain't lying.
Most of the men voted for Donald Trump. Most of the so-called black men voted for Donald Trump. He put a fucking do rag on, respecting women. Yeah, grab them hoes by the pussy and all this old shit. Like real men don't act like that, bro. They use Carmela Harris to cipher a lot of our women's energy. After they put these men in certain situations to where these men ain't able to, they gave the women most of the men's jobs. This shit was done by design, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of shit that's taking place that we ain't gonna be able to just get no sudden fix to. It's a lot of shit that we gotta deal with that we just gotta get out of. And when it comes to that relationship shit, I just wanna tell people, man, be with, somebody you can trust. And you know you can trust somebody or not. Not with who got the most money, not with who put on the best show or who the best actor but who's the most compatible with you and that you can truly, genuinely trust. Because the art of love has been lost in this system of things that we're going through. Now people are claiming that they love each other for the wrong reasons, and I'll fall back on that.
Yeah, man, and I tell you this, for all the women, please know that you are going to be under attack. You are going to be aimed at first. Okay, in order to get to the men, you got to get to the women. Let me give you an example. Okay, during the pandemic, they scared y'all. And when I say they scared y'all, they basically threatened you and said, hey, none of your children are gonna go to our schools if they don't do this. A direct attack against women, right? And there's something where that when women get attacked, okay, and that means they're going to make a decision, and no one is going to change that decision you make. Not even us men, we can tell you, hey, this is not good, and da 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 da, or this is good. But whenever your mind is set, it makes it so. So please be aware that the attacks will come to you, and you're going to have mental fortitude. You're going to have to put a lot of trust in men like myself, Key Norfolk, OG, uh, Brother Nasir, Bro Sanchez, right? Comrades, right? That can actually see the play, because some women can't see it, some can. But for the ones that, if you don't see the play, because sometimes I don't see all the plays that are going, I'm thinking, oh, it's a pass play, but it's a run. But hey, I was wrong, right? This is why I have brothers like Key Norfolk around, right? I got brothers like OG and Bro Sanchez and Savon Bomar and so many others that will shed light on the play at hand. So, just to arm yourself, be more aware of what's going on around us. Because remember, ladies, don't ever forget, okay, there is a battle for your soul. And I land.
Oh yeah, that was very well said because we gotta have those that can't be bought or be sold. Who gonna really be them? See, the biggest fight is to be able to be yourself in a world that pays you to not be yourself. Even the brothers that I spoke of earlier, the 607 the Charleston Whites, right? All these type of people who have, I'm saying, is considerably selling themselves out for the bag. These people have possessed the power to be able to be influencers.
Mm.
But because they're more invested in themselves, they sold out already. They said, I ain't gonna try to really help everybody. I'm gonna use the information to help everybody so everybody can think I'm helping them. I'm gonna talk this spiritual shit like I'm Key. I'm gonna talk this spiritual shit like Sanchez. I'm gonna even watch their streams and I'm gonna repeat the shit they say. But the whole thing is, I'm gonna be on an agenda to fend for myself because they have a mindset of fuck so-called black people.
Mm. You muted yourself, Key.
Yeah, I did. It was a plane flying by.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm outside enjoying this nice, cool weather, man. And then, these people feel like, you know, the system too powerful, the system too strong. So I ain't really trying to blend with my people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go and sell out now. Now we got them on the left hand, but on the right hand, we got the people who are selling us out, who don't think we know they selling us out, the boule system. So neither one is worse than the other. So once we can develop meet in the middle ground and develop the mind frame of, hey, both of this shit ain't right for us. What do we need to be doing next? Then we can start to pick up the pieces that mash out of that emergence. Once we emerge these things and once the pieces bust out and fall on the ground, we can start picking these pieces up and start putting these pieces back to where they go. And that's why, see, the most important, the most valuable thing as an individual is your soul. So the next most valuable thing in its physical form is family.
Mm-hmm.
Because the family places the mother there, the family places the father there, the family places the children there to be governed by a mother and a father who actually love them and who is not going to try and use them, who not going to love them for a reason.
Mm.
See, this is the shit that's taking place. See, you got gangs and pimps who love these kids. They love them, but they love them for what they can do for them. That's
Mm.
not pure love. That's not pure light.
Mm.
That's dark light.
Mm.
So when it all boils down to it, it's all about the light that you possess in your chest. That's where your treasure. That's where you hold your treasure.
Mm. And good thing that you mentioned, the parents, and I want to tell all the parents out there, man, you look, you're doing a good job. Okay, if you're raising your children, you're guiding your children, you're giving them all the values that you possess, right? You're rectifying what your parents did to you, and you are making sure that that doesn't happen to your child. Look, shouts out to all the mothers, shouts out to all the fathers out there. Okay, all right, that you holding it down, you doing the do, you're spending your time, you're doing what a good mother and a good father would do for their child. And shouts out to the ones that have a really good tight knitted family. And if you've got that solid rock foundation of a family, man, keep that rock going, right? And don't let nothing come in between you, your family, and your children. Man, much love to all of you.
For sure, for sure. Much love. That's the most important thing. That's gonna be what's important to us as far as getting back to being compatible with nature.
Mm,
So I definitely wanna, give a huge shout out to everybody who's keeping their core family values intact and who are being concerned about the mindsets and the situations of the people and not just being self motivated, acting out of a survival mode or animalistic tactics, that this corporation is putting upon the people, because they're trying to breed minions. They're trying to add more darkness than there is light, and a lot of our people are being fooled and they don't have a clue what's really going on. So shout out to everybody, man, who doing a good job. Give y'all self a pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but love coming from me. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to y'all. Much love and respect.
yeah, that's real, man. And we're all going to be, tested even more, on our knowledge, on our wisdom, you know, and going to be tested on our energetic field to see if we're going to fall for the crap that they're throwing out, And I'm always optimistic right now. I know where our future, is extremely bright here. I know that most of the men and most of the women. I'm not talking about the males and females here. I'm talking about the men and the women, you know, we are going to do the right thing here, just like Spike Lee movie. We're always going to do the right thing, And I look at us as the brain, right? You got people on the left, right, and then you got people on the right. But like you said, there's an elevator in the brain. There's this straight path there. If we stay on the straight path and don't sway left and don't sway to right, stay on that straight path, as the words you like to say all the time. Let's stay balanced here, and just keep moving forward. And I swear, y'all, we gonna be all right, because we here, anyone listening now and listening in the future, we are the change that we're we're hoping for, wishing for. I don't like using those two words, but when you become this change, right? Nothing can go by us without us highlighting and shining our light on things. So, shouts out to everyone, and thank you again, always, Key and OG. It's an honor just to be on the panel with y'all. So.
Hey, salute. I'm thankful to have you join us, brother. And salutes to everybody in the chat. At this time, I do want to allow for the brothers to close out so that we can be able to take a little 15, 20-minute interval. I want to actually transfer the stream over to my brother Bro Sanchez's stream. I'm gonna join him, and I would like to ask for everyone who is in attendance to join. So yeah, I allow for y'all to close out, man, and then I'll close out. Salute.
Key, right? I got this song, man, that you know I like to close out with, and speak over it at the same time, because it just, I don't know, man. The this song, y'all, right? It just brings me back to center, and I think it's like a remix of something. And so, hey, look, thank you, Key, for bringing the awareness, right? Bringing your love, bringing your passion, you know, your empathy for everyone, right? This is what we need for down the road, right? People that have empathy and compassion, that just loves good, decent, loving people. You feel me? And like I said earlier, man, it's an honor to be on the panel with OG, who's playing pool right now. And OG, yeah, I need that game. I need that pool game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to challenge you on that. But shouts out to the chat, right? And everyone that's going to be listening to the stream. Hey, thank you, brother, for having me again.
Much love and respect, your brother. I appreciate you for joining us, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love and respect. Shout out to my brother OG Philly. I know if he could get his mic together, as long as he ain't in the middle of one of them amazing shots he got, man, I know he'll be able to jump on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, OG, man. OG, that's my brother, man. And salute to the big dog, Philly OG, man. And on the way out, I'm gonna play this little clip, but we will be back, man, tonight. We will be back tonight, right? I'm gonna cut this off. They got some nonsense going. So I'm gonna play this, and man, we'll be back tonight. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. Hey man, make sure y'all support the stream. If you can share the stream for me, that'll be awesome. Uh, I don't really want to beg, but if y'all can support the stream financially, I'd appreciate it. My cash app is $ Key Norfolk, KEYNORFUL 1984. Key Norfolk 1984. at Cash App. Man, I'm gonna keep bringing these streams to y'all because I got like so much that I've been working on for the last few days. But everything that y'all do to support, whether you could tell somebody to tune in, whether you can share the stream, because we all going through a hard time right now, and I understand that. So that ain't gonna stop me. Nothing that they've been trying to do to stop me has stopped me. And I'm gonna bring y'all the full story on that as well. But to take us out, I'm gonna play this, and let's all go over to Bro Sanchez, man, and tap into his stream that he got going on. And we will be back on this channel tonight. Salutes to everybody. Much
And
love and
Kid, I
respect.
appreciate you letting me on, good brother. I got out of the noise. You already know it's much love and respect to you and the family, my brother T. Wiggles, all the Flat Power family in the chat, man. Excellent topic, excellent conversation, good brother. Respect. I agree
Hey,
with
did
you
you have anything?
110% on everything.
Take your time, OG.
Now I'm good, Kid. I was finishing up. I appreciate your support. How you doing, sir? Everything good, man. Go ahead, keep
For
close
sure, for
out. I
sure.
see your bro Sanchez, man.
Oh yeah, we'll go
Flat
to Bro
motherfucking power to
Sanchez.
all the Flat Power fans.
Flat motherfucking power, man. Salutes to the good brother OG. And like I said, we will be back on later tonight, man. I was waiting on a few of the other brothers. Maybe we'll get them back tonight. And we'll just do an open panel, man, where we can kind of boggle some of these cause I know I'm all over the place, but everything is everything to me. It all relates back to the same thing. So even if we do get carried away on another conversation later, we'll always come back to what's greater. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. Make sure y'all please like, share, and subscribe, support the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get the notifications the next time we go live. And salute. We gonna go out on this video right here.
Food assistance hangs in the balance as the federal shutdown drags on. It's creating an uncertain situation for millions of Americans, including nearly 1.4 million Georgians who rely on SNAP benefits. The issue is sparking debate on both sides of the aisle. Liza Lucas has a look for us tonight. We are tracking movement for both Democrats and Republicans when it comes to SNAP funding. Georgia's U.S. Senators Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff are among more than 40 lawmakers urging Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins to tap USDA contingency funds to keep benefits flowing, though it's unclear if that will cover full November payments. Meanwhile, Senator Josh Hawley, a Missouri Republican, has introduced a bill to reinstate SNAP benefits during the shutdown, but that measure still needs a vote. Here in Georgia, state representatives Kim Schofield, Sandra Scott, and Viola Davis are calling on Governor Kemp to use part of the state's multi-billion-dollar surplus to help families and food banks. SNAP helps supplement food budgets of low-income families, and here in Georgia, many have already faced challenges with that program related to theft and a July cyber incident. Kalima Jenkins, whose 90-year-old mother depends on the program, worries many won't have anyone to fall back on if the government shutdown impacts November payments.
I'm quite concerned. I'm concerned about my mom. I'm concerned about other seniors in this same situation. They're our most vulnerable population because they don't have the ability to increase their income. And there are many that don't have someone else that is going to be able to fill the gap for them. And so they're going to go hungry.
Those concerns extend to Georgians with disabilities, small children, and families in rural areas where food banks are limited. Meanwhile, federal workers also face paycheck uncertainty, which adds to the strain. Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp's team has not answered our questions about the potential use of that surplus funding. Instead, they pointed us to a previous statement blaming Democrats who, quote, refused to do their jobs and open the government.
Okay, and another announcement I want to make, and I'm gonna go back, man, and I'm gonna call out everybody on the stream, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat for all the good energy. Shout out to uh, Sister Helen. I definitely understand. No. Who's that? JJ. Nah, no disrespect, man. Nah, you good, JJ, bro. You support in so many ways. You know, I know you sharing the stream. You always come up and give your thoughts. Oh man, you support me a lot, JJ. You know, just bringing your energy to the stream. Sister Helen, I understand you don't have a bank account to connect to this phone. You support me right now, Sister Helen. Salutes to you. Sister Katrina, salute. D. Allen Warren, salute. Man, I appreciate y'all for all the good energy. The good energy is support. That's the true currency. Shout out to my brother Charlie. Salute. Jess. Um, okay, yeah, Jess, I made you a moderator too. Kill Switch, salute. My brother Kill Switch, salute. My brother, the enemy's public, salute. My brother McCray, salute. Salutes to everybody, man. I see y'all out there. T Wriggles, Big Dog, Philly OG. Salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get with my brother Tony, and I'm gonna try to get with my sister Cora Williams and my brother Tony Johnson with the CEO Youth League, and we're going to try to do a. No, we're not gonna try to do shit. We're gonna do a food drive here in Fort Worth because it's one of the areas that I know of personally to where there are a lot of homeless people being affected. I've been serving this community for years. I've been servicing this community since 2019. Uh, you know, and then we'll move to the next city if we can or whatever. And but we're gonna start it off where we can all meet at. So I'll get with them and you know, I could take a little bit of money and I can feed 200 people. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of money. I could take $50. I could feed 200 people with $50. You know what I'm saying? I did it before. You know what I'm saying? So
For real?
we gonna
So,
start
so
there.
you took the Jesus route. You put two fishes and fed a whole thing.
Hey, no, you still here. Yeah, man, you know, I done took a little bit of money and fed the whole town Fort Worth on several occasions. You know, it took me a little bit more money then, but now I can actually take less money and do it. You know, rather than buying all these canned tomatoes, I can actually take real tomatoes and do it. You know, because when you buy a can of tomatoes, if you buy a can of tomatoes for $1, you know, it's probably less than a tomato in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm.
can take actual tomatoes and really take my knowledge and cut these things down, smash them. You know, I can do some American chop suey or some chili, or you know, it's finna get cool. I'm gonna figure out some, you know, for the people, spice it up for them to where they ain't eating chilies and crackers, where they actually get chili and cornbread. You know, I'm gonna make it right for 'em. You know what I'm saying? So we can try to do something in certain areas, and you know, of course, we can't cover the whole United States, but you know, maybe we can be a beacon of light because none of us are rich. None of the people I mentioned are rich, you know, but there are rich people who they don't do shit. So, you know, maybe we can start holding them to these same standards to where they can go out and to where they can start doing some shit sometimes, you know. That's why I keep calling these niggas out. You know what I'm saying? Because they getting money from the people. They bleeding the people dry, you know, for finances and shit because they want to entertain people, but they not giving nothing back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Well, as if I see somebody and man, I just saw somebody not too long ago and I'm in a situation right now, you know, not to talk down or up on myself, but just how I seen this man's shoes, I just had to give him mine. You know what I'm saying? I got another pair of shoes at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. So
Yeah.
Shit like that. That's what we're gonna have to start getting back to, bro. Like it's time out to be trying to use our ups to like stun on people and shit like that, man. That's just showing this animalistic behavior that we've been talking about. And we gotta be able to connect with each other with a sound heart and a sound mind.
Mm, mm. I did what you said early in the stream. You know, I cleaned out my closet and my little cubby hole storage area, and instead of giving the clothes to Goodwill or Salvation Army, I went to the streets and saw, you know, them caravans. You know, it was just like, here, man, I got some clothes for y'all. You know, it's the least I can do for you guys. You know.
Facts. Facts. And then shout out to my brother Leonard Walters. He probably gonna be upset with me, but you know I love you, bro. We grew up together, and I'm happy to see you as a grown man, the same as we were when we was children. He been going in his closet finding old Jordans, and taking pictures of them, and they in good condition and showing people. So whether he's selling them for cheap or whether he giving them away, I don't know. But things like this is to where we can kind of start to help each other. And it starts with small things. Small things are big things, man. So salutes to everybody who just genuine people, man. That's all you can ask for in this day and time. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Salute. And yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, man, just so I can just take a second to be able to come back. We gonna get with Bro Sanchez, man. And salutes to everybody, man. Make sure y'all go over to Bro Sanchez channel and I'll see y'all over there, man. Y'all already know what it is. Much love, much respect. Till next time, peace and power.